Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. It's Season 3, Episode 29, and if you counted all three seasons, that's 129. I'm Craig.
My name is Britt.
Britt, it is Super Bowl weekend.
It is. We are ready for the Super Bowl. I'm especially ready for the Super Bowl with my Chiefs playing in it. I'm actually kind of just wishing we could just get to the damn game already.
Yeah, so are you just like anxious, nervous, excited, mixed?
All of the above.
All right.
All of the above. I honestly don't know how to feel. To be completely honest, I have
That's
no
fair.
clue how to feel about this. I am preparing myself not for disappointment, but to manage however this game goes, because we are going to discuss and make our Super Bowl picks during this particular podcast. But I just have a feeling to tip my hand a little bit. I have a feeling this game's going to be really close. Really, really close. And I'm scared as hell by that. So,
Yeah, I think
but let's start where we always start.
Closer than everyone thinks, but yes.
Yeah, well, Vegas says it's 1.5.
That's
so
close.
I think a lot of people think this is going to be a close game. And I have figured out who is going to win based on one simple sentence, which I will share as we go on. But
Okay.
first, we start where we always start. It is still dry January. So I have some lovely vitamin water. Craig, are you still celebrating dry January, or do you have something tasty?
Well, I'm celebrating almost dry January. So I didn't make it the whole
we
month
talked
like
last
you.
week about
Right.
a couple of days.
Yeah. But tonight I am not drinking. I found this new Coke flavor. And here's the thing. I really don't drink soda that much. I mean, unless there's rum in it, but that's different.
Yeah, it's very rare for me to, like, even when we go out to eat, you very rarely ever order a soda. I've seen you order iced tea,
seltzer,
or just like water or
beer,
seltzer
whatever.
more often
Right.
than soda. Yeah.
But I found in the Stop and Shop by me this limited edition Coca-Cola with cinnamon. It's amazing.
I saw that.
If you like
but it doesn't
cinnamon,
come in diet.
Not that I saw, but if you like cinnamon, you definitely need to try this because it's
I
amazing.
love cinnamon.
It's an
I love
amazing
cinnamon.
drink.
And for those who don't know me, I actually have a compromised digestive system. I literally can't have sugar.
Right.
So I will be I have been known to have pancakes with less than an ounce of syrup on them and be in the fetal position in terrible pain an hour later.
That's not funny.
So I
It's just a
can't
fun
even
story.
risk we honestly I could tell you stories galore, but that's not what this podcast is about. But so I can't risk cinnamon Coke. I would love if they make a diet version. We gotta find it.
All right.
If there's diet cinnamon Coke,
I don't know. There might be.
it's very rare for them to make a flavor in one and not the other.
True.
So I saw that in the store in passing the other day, and I didn't see a diet variety. Oh, and it's really good. It's worth the try.
Definitely good. Because normally, I mean, these are little like 7.5 ounce cans.
The little cans.
Yeah, I can finish it no problem. Normally, if I just have a soda even this size, like I barely finish it because it's too sweet for me.
That's fair. Okay, well, good. Well, at least you're trying something tasty, and I'm glad you enjoy it. So, as we said, we are into Super Bowl week. There's still news happening all over the NFL. So let's kick it off. Let's do some burning hot takes. Craig, would you
Sure.
like to give or receive?
I will. You know what? I will receive. Why not?
Okay. All right, so I got two big things I want to talk about. The first one, this is non-Super Bowl stuff because we're talking about our huge Super Bowl preview as soon as this is over. But there's a couple of stories out there that are kind of interesting to me. The first one is the discussion about the NFL Players Association and NFL committee's discussion about the labor agreement.
Right.
As we all know, the labor agreement will expire at the conclusion of this league year, and there have been discussions about extending / revisiting it. A couple pieces of information came out. One was something from the head of the NFLPA, who said that players should start preparing now to miss 2 seasons and to go without 2 seasons of pay. And then there's some conversation at the Super Bowl. Arthur Blank, from the owner of the Falcons, was on NFL radio on Sirius XM today on Moving the Chains, and he said he feels that this is one of the most productive negotiations they've had and things are moving well. Craig, Who do you believe? Are we looking at a work stoppage, or do you hold out hope that we will play 2020 on schedule?
All right, so I mean, because we do this podcast, of course, I hope they come to an agreement. I think
Mm-hmm.
the players have a valid point in not wanting to add another game to the season because it's just more wear and tear on them. The
Right.
other thing too, I know they're in the one part of the heated part of the discussion is about concussions, and
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be where they're deadlocked
Mm-hmm.
because it involves the waiver agreement they signed to play in the NFL, where
Right.
the NFL isn't responsible if you hurt yourself.
As
And
long as it was not a predictable
right,
injury. That's where those liable limitations come in, and that's where I think the holdup is here. Is that the Players Association are saying there is plenty of evidence now that concussions and post-concussion syndromes and CTE-related disorders are a known factor, and the NFL is responding by saying we don't know enough about those things to say that concussions are still very mysterious. Some people have post concussion syndromes, some don't. Some concussions become a rapidly building issue that lead to those issues later on in life, some don't. So there's some discussion around that, but yes, you're right. It's about that liability waiver that I'm hearing too.
yeah. So I think both sides are kind of telling half truths about how it's going. So
Oh yeah, no question. My take on it is DeMaurice Smith's email, the head of the NFL Players Association, DeMaurice Smith, his email saying get ready for a 2-year stoppage is absolutely playing the media right into the discussion. That is him pulling the media into discussion. When the NFLPA does not want something discussed, they are absolutely tight-lipped. They say nothing. Everything stays within the ranks. When they want the media to know that they've got an issue with something, that's when all of a sudden there's leaks. They never leak juicy information. They always
right,
leak what they want us to know. So to me, I believe this is actually going a lot smoother. I'm hearing that one of the things the owners are asking for in the past, the owners have asked for an 18-week regular season. Now they've come up with some sort of plan, and I have heard none of the details, but they talked about it today on the radio of a 17-game plan.
right,
There is some way they're talking about 17 regular season games, and again, that's just going to increase the amount of money players make. It's extra wear and tear, but and then I hear the argument, well, concussions are up. I don't necessarily agree with that. Having not seen the data, reported concussions are up because
true,
we have a guy in a red hat that stands on the sideline and forces players to get their bell rung to get checked out. They've replaced smelling salts with scientists, and that has made a difference, I think, in how we. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's the reason, but I'm saying is we have to consider that before we sit there and go, well, concussions are up 10% last year. Are they? Or are we catching more of them? Is it better diagnosis or is it more occurrence? And that's an important distinction because if it's just better diagnosis, that's the idea of having neurologists on the field.
right.
So, what do you got for me?
So for me is a Super Bowl related question.
Go for it.
Two part. I want to know, as a Chief fan, for you,
Mm-hmm.
what is the key to the Chiefs winning, and what would be the key? Hopefully not, but what would be the key for them to go down the right hallway and
Okay, and
not
so for
win?
those who don't know, the right hallway is an old joke I have from when the Mets were really, really terrible in the early 90s, that they should build a pathway off of the locker room tunnel so that really bad players can just be redirected down a right hallway that would end in a pit of fire. Just dispose of the bodies altogether. All right,
Right.
you hit 2 for 4 today. You go here. Oh, 0 for 4 with the golden sombrero. You go ahead and take the right hallway. That's the old joke. All right, so yeah, for me, it's very simple. If this game, and we're going to get into this when we get into the lines a little bit, if this game hits the over, the Chiefs win. The only way San Francisco wins this game is to keep the total low. If the Chiefs score 21 points, the Chiefs will win this game. There is no scenario in my head or in anything I've read, looked at, or analyzed where the Chiefs get in the end zone 3 times and don't win this game. This game, if San Francisco wants to win this game, it's got to be 10-7. It's got to be 17-14. There is no way they're going to win this game like 51-50. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
So that's literally where it is. If you can stick to the under, and the over under is 52, I believe. I'll double check that. Maybe 54. But you can stay 54 and a half. You stay under that number, you have a shot to win. Doesn't mean you will win, but I'm guessing that if the total is low, the Niners win. So it's all about limiting the points. The Chiefs have to go out there. They have to get around the strong San Francisco defense. They have to utilize their weapons. And I have an interesting theory on how they're going to do that. I think they're going to use Travis Kelce as the greatest decoy of all time and throw to everyone that's not named Travis Kelce.
All right. I mean,
because
it
I
could
think
work.
the 49ers are going to have to scheme a way to deal with Kelce. I'm not as worried about Kittle, except when you get down inside like the 20. I'm more worried about Kittle and scoring than I am in him moving the ball, but Kelce will help you move the ball, and they know that. So there it is. There's my secret to the game. What about you?
All right. Yeah, same thing. I think Nick Bosa is going to be a really large factor in this game, one way or the other.
They got to isolate him.
And if they don't, he's going to make Patrick Mahomes' day not the best one ever, probably. So it really depends on how the Chiefs' offensive line is able to handle him.
I heard one caller on NFL radio this week. I've been listening to NFL radio nonstop this week. I turned off the fantasy radio because it was only prop bets. And I'm like, prop bets are interesting, and I want to talk a little bit about them, but I want to hear strictly about prop bets. So I listen to a lot of NFL radio. One guy calls in and goes, I'm a lifetime 49ers fan, and let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to win this game by keeping Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. I'm going to hang up and take your answer off the air. And the guy's paused for a moment, and the guy on the radio went, I don't know that keeping Patrick Mahomes in the pocket is going to help you. You have to make him move. You have to make him. He said he's dangerous when he moves. He throws well on the run. But if you think that just keeping Patrick Mahomes in a 5-yard squared section of the field on every play is going to help you win, it's not.
No, you definitely have to rush him, try to sack him, make him move something. I mean, he can still throw sidearm and it's dangerous, but, those are dangerous passes.
Well, but not for him. He usually doesn't take those dangerous passes. He's got a very low interception ratio. Probably just jinx it by saying that. But here's what you have to do, and this is going to sound overly simplistic and stupid. To beat Patrick Mahomes, you have to get him on the ground.
Yes.
That's it. If he's running, you have to hit him. You can't let him scamper like he did against Tennessee. That bizarre touchdown run that was like, oh my God, 7 different guys missed him. You can't let him sit in the pocket, and you can't let him escape. If you're gonna push him out of the pocket, you have to have hands on him.
Right.
You cannot just collapse the pocket and force him to scramble. He's too good at it. You have to get him off his feet. That is the only way you're going to stop Patrick Mahomes. The only way, in my opinion. That's the only way you're going to do it. So, all right. Third question.
Okay.
Where did it go?
Now it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. So, interesting story out of New York.
Okay.
In just this evening. So tonight's the 29th, just this evening. Andrew Marchand at the New York Post has posted a story about ESPN and the Sunday NFL Countdown crew. There was a rumor they were going to try and reset the show. They were going to break it up. Sam Ponder, who's the host, Matt Hasselbeck, and Rex Ryan all were expiring contracts coming into this year. There was talk about, maybe it's time to do something different. Over the summer, the executives in charge of the show decided they needed to do a little team building. So they sent the entire team, Ponder, Hasselbeck, Ryan, Teddy Bruschi, and Randy Moss, to Charlotte for a chemistry building trip. You ready for what they sent them to do?
Okay.
Axe throwing. Now, Rex Ryan, we have to. Rex Ryan is closing in on a new contract. ESPN has contacted Ponder and Hasselbeck's people and said, we want to keep him in the roles. This is Bruschi's first year. He replaced Charles Woodson, and they want to keep Bruschi in that role. Craig, is axe throwing the ultimate solution to everything that is team wrong in the world? What's your reaction to this?
I mean, maybe we should try it. It could work. It could work. Because you could drink while doing it. You
I
don't
wouldn't.
really want to start arguments with anybody because everyone has an axe,
Hmm.
and you just throw axes at wood.
Hmm.
You get a lot. You just get a lot out. So maybe it will. Maybe it does work.
So are you suggesting we gather up our entire resource crew, the 5 or 6 guys that contribute to this podcast, and take them all axe throwing?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right, I'm on board. I'm on board. I'm afraid, but I'm on board. So, all right, let's move on.
Okay.
So the big game is here. So we're going to end the show with our official picks. I want to talk a little bit about the odds and the betting on this game right now. So I'm looking right now at Betting Pros just to get the most up-to-date information. The Niners are 1.5 underdogs, so they're getting 1.5 from the Chiefs. 55% of the experts at Betting Pros are taking the Niners plus 1.5.
Okay.
The money line is plus 104 for the Niners or minus 127 for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the experts are betting on the Chiefs at 55% on the money line. So, Craig, what does that tell you? If you're asking with the spread, more than half the experts are going with the Niners, getting a 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying straight up win with a money line because there's a 23-point difference, people are going with the Chiefs. What does that say to you?
That says to me it's going to be a really close game.
That is absolutely what it says to me. The money line, that 23 points between 104 and 127 is big enough, just big enough, for people to say, you know what? This is how I'm hedging my bet. I'll put my straight money line on the Chiefs. I'll put my spread money on the Niners. And if the Chiefs win this by 3 points, I'm going to be a millionaire. But if they lose or it's a super close game, I'm not going to take a bath.
Yeah,
That's what that says to me.
you're absolutely right. I think that's what everyone is doing.
This is hedging the bets. You're right. It says this is going to be an absolutely down to the wire game. Now, here's the interesting thing. The over-under is 54.5. The experts are evenly split. Half of them are taking the over, half of them are taking the under.
Ooh.
So we'll get our official picks at the end, but over-under 54.5, Chiefs Niners. What do you think?
54.5, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm taking the over.
Yeah,
I'm taking the over
I would
all
take
day
the
long.
over.
If
I
the
think
Chiefs
you have
have
to almost.
if the Chiefs have found a way to work around the Niners defense or what the Niners plan to do, there is a absolute realistic possibility the Kansas City Chiefs could put 54 points on them by themselves. We have seen this before. When Kansas City figures something out, they can go nuts. They went nuts on the Texans. Last year against LA, what was the final score of the game? They had over 100 points scored in that game. And it was like
I have to look it up.
54-51, something stupid
Yeah.
like that. It is entirely possible the Chiefs will make up like 40 plus of those points if they've got the Niners figured out. And that's if the Niners do nothing. The Niners manage 10 points, then the Chiefs only need 45 points. That's entirely possible. I can't see this being low scoring. I can't. The
No,
Chief offense
I don't think it is.
potent, and the Chief defense is improving, but still very porous. Very porous. The Chief defense only gave up 19 points a game this year, but they were in the bottom third of the league. I think they were 26th in run defense, but they still only gave up 19 points.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I think it's part of it is the pass happy, big play nature of the league. And I think the Chiefs play – I think what it is, the Chiefs play really good goal line defense. I think they play really well inside the red zone. But they shut down Derrick Henry. They shut him down. And I'm sorry, I don't fear any of the San Francisco weapons like I feared Derrick Henry.
Not after Mosert's monster week?
No, I don't. Mostert is clearly a talented dude, and he's had bad games too. He is not the bell cow back in that all season. Who were we talking about Raheem Mostert during the preseason? We were talking about Matt Breida.
Yes.
We're talking about Matt Breida. And then Matt Breida starts to slow down because the injuries start to mount up on him. Then all of a sudden, were people talking about Raheem Mostert? No, they were like, well, this is where Tevin Coleman makes his move. And then Tevin Coleman did virtually nothing, and Mostert took up that slack. They are a hot hand run offense. If Mostert is a bell cow, then they don't have to have a hot hand offense. There is no situation in which the Cowboys run Tony Pollard twice and then run Zeke Elliott twice and then decide who they're going to give the ball to. It doesn't happen. That's not how their offense works, and that's how the Niners offense works. So I'm going to take the over there. I think that was really interesting on that. I mean, it's and the fact that the expert consensus is 55-45, no matter which one you look at, that's just amazing to me. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, when was the last time a Super Bowl was like this close with the points?
In the lines? Oh,
yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to go find that information. Would not even know. Now, I'll tell you this. According to betting pros as well, 89% of the early action in the over-under is on the over. People are on the over. So, I'll tell you, and people are betting against Raheem Mostert. I don't know what the prop bet is on him, but I read an article or saw an article in passing today that the Raheem Mostert's rushing total number has been coming down on the prop bets because everyone's betting under.
Really?
Everyone is betting under on it. And the last little note on this before we move on to other stuff, 95% according to betting pros, what the industry is expecting to be bet on this game, only 5% of it has already been wagered. They're expecting a ton of last minute day or two before the game or even hour or two before the game wagering. That's another indicator. People are waiting. People want every last minute so that if Sunday morning Tyreek Hill trips over something on his way to the bathroom, they're not locked into the Chiefs. That's what it is. This game is really looking like it's going to be super, super close. Super close. So, any further thoughts on the betting before we move on to some more fun stuff?
No, I think we covered it for the most part. I think we're good.
Okay, so game prediction aside, are you taking the Niners getting 1.5 points, or are you taking the Chiefs giving 1.5 points?
I think about it all week, or not all week, last couple days. I'm gonna have to kind of bet the way everyone else does. I think if I'm taking the points, I would put some money on San Francisco. Straight up, I'd take KC.
Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I'm obviously, as a KC fan, I'm already said I'm putting my money on the over, and I'm putting my money on KC. If I'm parlaying and I'm getting points, I'm shifting the spread. I'm putting that shift spread into the spread. I'm not putting it into the over under. I'll keep the over under at 54.5, and I'll adjust the spread. Yeah. So there's that. Now, one of the fun things about the Super Bowl week is prop bets.
Yes.
Everybody loves to do prop bets. Now, there are very serious ones out there. If you're in a state that allows sports betting, go on DraftKings, go on any of your sites. Actually, I'll pull something up as we're talking about this, so we can kind of look at some of them. Maybe I can. I don't even know if it'll let me look at this because I'm in a state that does not allow it.
And
States where you can bet today: New Jersey, West Virginia, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire. Don't see your state? Tough shit. You lose, sir. Good day. Okay, let's see here. Wow. Okay, the DraftKings Sportsbook page is a little confusing. All right, here we go. All right. Novelty props. Okay, we're going to talk about novelty props in a minute. Let's talk about the more serious ones, game props.
All right.
So, and some of these are all, what is this? Oh, this is first team to score, last team to score. I was looking for individual player props, and I don't see them here. Oh, there they are, player props. Okay. So on DraftKings, you can actually take bets or place bets on who will score the first touchdown in the game. Will someone score? Will this person play score a touchdown at all? Will this person score the last touchdown of the game? For example, Damian Williams to score the first touchdown of the game is plus 650. That's pretty nice, but he's got to score the first touchdown of the game. It was a long shot here. Sammy Watkins, that's a good call. Patrick Mahomes plus 2,000. Really? He's got the same odds as Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne, all he does is catch touchdowns.
I didn't think those would be the same.
So, all right. So here's a question for you, Craig.
All right.
I'm gonna go based off of these odds. So
Okay.
at some point they get down this list and they hit any other Kansas City or any other San Francisco player,
Okay.
and that's plus 2,500. I'm gonna give you a couple of names. You stop me when you're like, that's the guy I'm taking my long shot on. These are guys who are worse than the other people. Like everyone else, you could take any other player not listed, or you could take this guy, and this guy's got worse odds.
Okay. Good.
Demarcus Robinson,
Okay.
Jeff Wilson. I don't even know who Jeff Wilson is. Who the hell is Jeff Wilson? He's not a Chief.
I don't know.
Darwin Thompson, LaShawn McCoy, Kyle Juszczyk, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Really?
Jimmy Garoppolo is plus 4,500. Any San Francisco player generic is 2,500.
All right. I may have to stop there then, because that's
Can Garoppolo scramble one in? He hasn't scrambled a whole lot this year, but I think he could do it,
doesn't,
right?
But I mean, it doesn't take much.
You know where my
Like-
money is?
Where?
I'm putting $1 on Byron Pringle.
Because he made you
Plus
$20 before.
25 plus 10,000 if Byron Pringle scores the first touchdown of the Super Bowl. Plus 10,000.
That's
How
crazy.
can you not put $10 on that?
You have
just-
to. Just do it. Well, we can't. But
It's essentially the same thing as setting a $10 bill on fire, but why in the holy hell wouldn't you do, if there's anybody on here, MVP odds, these are usually pretty good, right?
yeah.
So the favorite is Patrick Mahomes plus 115.
Right.
The second favorite is Jimmy Garoppolo plus 225, and that comes out of the fact that the I think it's like 2/3 of the time it's 80% of the time it's an offensive player, 2/3 of the time it's the MVP is a quarterback. But like outside of that, Raheem Mostert plus 900. I don't think there's any chance Raheem Mostert ends up the Super Bowl MVP. I'd be shocked. George Kittle plus 1,600. That sounds reasonable to me. Hills plus 2,000. Kelsey's plus 2,000. I could do that. Damian Williams and Nick Bosa are both plus 2,500. You got to bet on one of them. Who do you want to put your $5 on?
I think I would put $5 on Bosa.
If a defensive player is going to win it, it's likely him. It's likely him. So I'm scrolling down. I'm looking for my guy, D Ford. I forgot D Ford is there now, and he's got a grudge against the Chiefs. Demarcus Robinson plus 1,750. Wow, 17,500. Sorry, misread that. Dustin Colquitt plus 50,000.
Wow.
No chance. A punter. That's a punter, kids. There it is. Byron Pringle plus 50,000.
Wow.
Listen to me carefully. Take $1. $1 and put it on Byron Pringle to win the MVP.
Just do it.
It's $1. Oh
That's
my God,
actually
it's just
less
too funny.
money than getting a coffee.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's funny. It's fun stuff. All right, let's talk some novelty props because
All
I
right.
love these.
Those are always good.
I love these. Coin toss outcome: heads or tails.
Heads.
Minus 103. It's even odds. Coin toss winner, even odds. If they call the coin toss correctly, even odds. Okay. I'm just gonna go to this one that Washington Post also put out a Super Bowl prop bet for your party page. So if you go to the Washington Post web page and search Super Bowl 54 prop bets, you will find a printable sheet. So let's just pick up a couple of these. Yes or no, Greg? Demi Lovato, national anthem, under 2 minutes.
No.
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. The most sure prop bet I ever took in my life was the year Mariah Carey sang the national anthem.
Oh my God.
And the over-under was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And I was like, over. And she was like 310. Like, I'm like, not even this. I put like $10 on it with a friend. Best $10 I ever won. It was the tastiest $10, the most tasty $10 bill in the land. So, will there be a score in the first 6.5 minutes of the game?
Yes.
Now, we would have said the same thing last year. And last year, that was the scoring was abysmal.
Yes, it was actually.
I think that one. All right, so if I'm sitting there and I take that bet, I'm watching the coin toss like crazy. If the Chiefs get the ball to start the game, I think they're going to score. If San Francisco gets the ball to score, San Francisco go on a 7-minute drive and not get points out of it. They eat clock.
They
So
could, because if when they do get the ball, is what's that is what's going to happen. Did I say that right? Yeah,
yeah,
you know what I meant.
points scored in the first half. So halftime total points over or under 26 and a half.
In the first half.
First half, halftime score,
You know
your
what?
total's
I'm
26 and a
gonna
half.
say under.
I'm going to take the under too. Why are you taking the under?
Because I think the first quarter and a half might be a little slower than people expect it's gonna be. And then
Mm-hmm.
once Andy Reid and, the 49ers figure sort of each other out, the score is going to
Yep.
change after halftime.
And both these teams are really good at making adjustments.
Right.
Both these teams are really good at making adjustments. So they're going to come out. They might be nervous. They might not. Either way, everyone's going to be hyped up. I'm going to take the under. It'll be under 26 and a half at halftime.
Yeah, I think anything, like if mistakes happen, it's going to happen in the first quarter from either
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if the score is 3-0. Watch, it's going to be 21-10 at the end of the first quarter. One of them's going to be up big. That's going to happen. All right, largest lead by either team, more or over or under 14 and a half points.
Ooh,
Does
under.
either team take a 14 or 15 point lead in this game?
It's 14 and a half. I'm going to say under.
14 and a half. So you think at no point will either team be up by more than 14?
Right.
See, I'm going to go the over because the Chiefs love to go out big and let you chip away. We saw it against Tennessee.
True.
I'm going to take over. I think one of these teams, if San Francisco does manage to get some points on the board, and I'm not discounting they can't, I'm just saying Kansas City's a much more potent offense.
Yes.
I could see
They are.
either of these teams working up a 15 to 20 point lead. It's possible. It's possible.
Watch it happen in the first
So.
5 minutes.
Yeah. First possession, a turnover, a pick six, and all of a sudden it's 14-0. And now you're just like, oh my God. If you got the over in there, you're just hoping for a stop and a score. More receiving yards, Kelsey or Kittle?
Ooh. More receiving yards. I'm going to say Kittle.
I'm absolutely going to say Kittle. I really don't. After watching him in the Tennessee game, after Kelsey, that is, there's no question in my mind that they are going to try and use him as a decoy. They're going to try and use him as a decoy because it's difficult to shut either of those guys down, and it's difficult to put like cornerbacks on them. So you almost have to double them when they come off the line of scrimmage. You have to spy them almost every passing situation. So I definitely think it's going to be Kittle. Definitely. Pass attempts, Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, this one I know where I'm going. Over or under 29 and a half. Didn't he attempt like 8 passes in the second half of the NFL Championship? Yeah. They ran the ball
I think
down
because they're playing the Chiefs and their running backs are banged up, I'm going to say over. I feel like they're going to have to.
I'm going to take the under there. I just gotta. I might print these out and bring these to the brewery before we go to the game on Sunday. You and I can fill these out. I'll bet you a beer on our sheets when we do them. And
All right.
While we're giving our expert opinions here, I am going to allow for the purposes of our bet for that to be changed. I guarantee a cinch and the source are going to want in on this too. So one of us could walk away with like a 6-pack of beer because there's going to be a bunch of people that want in on this. Okay, Patrick Mahomes. Over or under? You don't even know what the category is yet.
All right, what?
What if it's over or under 2 interceptions? Oh.
Ooh.
I don't think he threw 2 interceptions in the game all year. I think he's only got like 6. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions. Okay, over or under Patrick Mahomes, rushing yards, 30 and a half.
That's a tough one. I'm going to say
That's
under.
like right where I would think. I would put him in the 25 to 30 range. I'm going to say under 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say under because I think Andy Reid is still really nervous about his knee. And it's going to remind him to not run unless he absolutely has to.
Yep, I agree. All right, now let's get some weird ones in here.
All right.
You ready? We're going to get weird, kids. Okay. I just lost it. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
How many players, different players, will attempt to throw a pass? And the number is over or under 2.5.
Like between both teams?
Correct. So when the official score comes out and there's passing attempts, How many names total appear under the two
I'm going to
teams?
say over. I'm going to say 3.
Both these teams like to throw gadgety stuff. Both these teams do. I could see it being over. And so what happens? God forbid there's an injury. That's instant over.
That is.
If either Mahomes or Garoppolo, knock on wood that neither one of them experience any issues, but if either one of them miss a single play, well, it would have to be a game-ending injury because we all know what happens when they put in Matt Moore for the Chiefs. It's run, 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 4th and 10, run it.
Shovel pass.
Shovel pass. Well, that would count as a pass attempt.
There you go.
So, all right, other weird ones. Will there be a touchdown in every quarter?
No.
I'm going to go no, too. That's an extreme one. Missed field goal, yes or no?
Yes.
I'm going to go yes. Kicking's been abysmal this year.
Yeah,
and Butker's good.
Good.
Who the hell kicks for the Niners? I don't even know who their kicker is.
Oh, it's Gould, right? Or is he?
Was it Robbie Gould? That's right. Oh, God, I forgot he was there. Okay. Will there ever be a tie score after the initial 0-0 start?
Yes.
I'm going to go with yes as well. I think these are not kicking teams. This is going to be touchdown. There's a very good chance this game's 7-7, 14-14, 21-21. All of these are possible. So I'm going to say yes. Okay, now, of course, the most important one. Coin toss, heads or tails.
Did we do that already?
Did we?
I thought we did with the start. I think it's going to be
we
heads.
We did. Okay, let's see. Any other novelty props out here? Because, okay. Oh, jersey number props. This is interesting. Over under the number of the first touchdown scorer. The jersey number is 26.5.
Under.
The very first touchdown of the game is scored. And you're going to say it's guy under 26.5. Why?
Because the first touchdown in the game is either going to be a special teams touchdown or a receiver.
Well, if you're going special teams, there's no way to predict that. They use so many wideouts and stuff like that. But if it's a receiver, what does everybody wear? Jeez, I don't even know what my own team wears.
Tyreek Hill wears 11, right? Or 10?
10. I think Watkins is 11. Oh my God, all our receivers wear low numbers. I just realized that. We don't have all of that guys in the 80s. I think Demarcus Robinson, I think he might be even 4. I don't even know. I don't even know my own team's numbers. What a terrible. Well, Travis Kelce's 80 something. Damian Williams wears 30 something, so it would have to be one of them. If it was on that side, Kittle wears 80 something. That's interesting. I kind of agree with you. I think it's probably going to be under. All right, I'm gonna open a can of worms on this one.
Okay.
Because this is under the novelty props section, on the Super Bowl. This is under novelty props. I'm gonna open a can of worms with this. Tom Brady's 2020 team on opening day. I'm not even going to give you the odds. You tell me who it is, and I'll tell you what the payoff is.
It's the Chargers.
The Chargers are not the favorite because you guess who the favorite is?
The Pats.
Of course. But the Chargers are the next safest bet at plus 400.
Ooh.
Plus 400. Almost everybody is plus 2,000 or more.
Who's the most, like...
Who's the highest?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple of them at 25,000. I'll just read the list. All right, so let's play that game. I'm going to give you the guys who have the 25,000 to 1 payoff for Tom Brady's next team. You just tell me not where he's going, but if he was going to land with one of these teams, which one do you think it would be?
All right.
The Cardinals, the Ravens, the Texans, the Chiefs, or the Seahawks?
Oh, God. Say those teams one more time.
Cardinals,
yep.
Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Seahawks.
God. The Texans.
All of them have established. Yeah, I mean, all of them have established QBs, and this is an opening day bet. So we can't sit here and say, well, if Watson got hurt at week 3 and Tom decided he was going to sit out for whatever reason, which I don't think he's going to do either, they'll call him. No, this is on opening night. Where is he going to be? The next tier down is the Packers and the Bengals.
No.
Oh, and the Bills and the Falcons. He's not going to the Bills.
No. Falcons, a lot of those two.
And the Bengals are going young. I can't see. You know what shocks me is that San Francisco is only plus 8,000. So one of the Super Bowl teams is plus 25,000 to one. The other one's only 8,000 to one. That shocks me.
Where are the uh, where are the Colts and Titans on that list?
I'm glad you asked because they're the next teams down from the Chargers.
Oh,
The
all right.
Colts are 900 to one. So just for reference point, the Chargers were 400 to one. The Colts are 900 to one. The Titans are 1,600 to one.
All right.
Interesting. I mean, it's
Not as
interesting,
crazy
but
as I'd thought, but
yeah, yeah. Now here's last one. I'm going to wrap up on this, and we're going to go to our fancy stuff. Oh wait a minute, maybe not. There's another
no.
set here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. There's one more I want to talk. All right, so two more bets I want to talk about.
Okay.
There's a retirement special bet.
Okay.
Will these players announce, and you can tell me yes or no, and I'll give you the line on it, before February 10th, do they announce their retirement? So it's short. You got to do it by, it says the cutoff is February 9th at 11:59.
Okay.
So before February 10th, not will they play next year, but will they announce their retirement before February 10th? Terrell Suggs plus 150 if you say yes.
Yes.
Would you put $1 on Terrell Suggs retiring after this game?
Yes.
I think so too. I think this is his last game, win or lose. I really do. I really do. LaShawn McCoy plus 300 on yes.
Excuse me. No.
I'm going to say no too. I would not take that bet. Emmanuel Sanders. Now,
no.
before you say yes or no,
Yeah.
it's 700 to 1.
uh,
Would you throw down $1?
No. He's
Really,
not
I
retiring.
think there's a chance he does. I do. I think there's a chance he does. So, all right, and this one really quick is a side one, and then I've got the one I want to wrap up on. This is a weird one.
Okay.
Any scoring drive to take less time than the singing of the national anthem.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes is not pay off well. It's a minus 625 money line, which means
really?
you've got to bet up $600 to win another 100 back. I think that yes is the answer there too.
Yeah, I wouldn't
now the
bet
most
that,
important, the final and most important one
okay.
is called the Fat Man Touchdown prop. Does any offensive lineman score a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
You know what? With this Super Bowl and so much in the unknown and what we've seen in the playoffs the last couple weeks, yes.
3,300 to 1. $1 gets you $3,000.
Yeah, why
I love
not?
it. And they call that the Fat Man TD. All right, let's wrap up our Super Bowl preview. We hope whatever you do, bet appropriately. Don't bet the house, folks, and just enjoy the game with that stuff. Craig, few minutes left. Give me a winner and a score. Who wins Super Bowl 54? And I promise I won't be angry with you if you pick the Niners.
This is just straight up. Right.
Straight up winner, and I want a score.
It's going to be a close game. I'm going to say it's going to be 34-27.
Wow, that's 7 points. A lot of people have it closer than that. I'm sorry, you're taking who?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Okay. I am also taking my Chiefs, obviously. My AFC Championship shirt from NFL Shop came in the mail today. I'm so psyched to wear it on Sunday. I'm going to take the Chiefs 42-24.
Ooh.
I think they're going to come out. I think it's going to be close up front. I think it's going to be a low scoring first half. I think the third quarter you're going to see probably 30 points between the two teams in that quarter alone. I think it's just they'll come out after the halftime. The jitters are gone. And if one of them's up big, it's going to be passing time. And both these teams are capable of the passing game. I know I didn't talk any DFS this week. I may do one or two small DFS pools, and it's going to be cash only. I'll toss $1 somewhere on Byron Pringle as my captain just because I have to. But for the most part, Deebo Samuel is my horse in DFS this week. And I'm not putting a ton of money out there because this is going to be a tight game, and it's going to be a closely contested game. And, and the next time you hear us, we'll be doing our Super Bowl wrap-up and kicking off our off-season where we have so much to discuss. We have put off the discussion of coaching changes. Yes. We have put off the discussion of free agency. We have barely touched base on the Tom Brady, where in the world is Tom Brady discussion. And now the reporting out of the Chargers, which, by the way, God, what is his name? Jay Glazer
Yes.
originally was saying that he thought that he was reporting that the Chargers were done with Philip Rivers. They were moving away from him. He backed off that yesterday.
Oh, did he?
He said I never said I was reporting that. Somebody asked me if I thought he'd be back, and I said my feeling is he won't be. And suddenly that turned into Jay Glazer says his team is moving away from Philip Rivers.
But Philip Rivers
And
did move to Florida,
yes, he did.
so
He did. So, yeah, that's what Glazer said. Glazer said that's why I said I feel he's done there. I feel like he's done there. I don't think he'll be back. But did I say the team source had him moving away? No, absolutely not. So I thought that was interesting. That was very interesting reporting by Jay Glazer. That he came back and said that. So we never even got into that. Where does Philip Rivers play next year? Is he the next Tannehill? Is he going to go back up somewhere and then all of a sudden come out of nowhere and boom, here we are again? We have the same situation. And if so,
I don't
where is
know.
that?
Because another thing we can get into next week too. I've heard rumors stirring that Drew Brees is going to retire.
He says he's talking about it. I
So
believe the exact quote was, "At my age, you have to think about it every year."
true.
He's 41. We are ending one of the I would say the second golden age of quarterbacks is coming to a rapid end in the NFL. Both Mannings. We haven't even talked about Eli's retirement. We'll have to
Right.
talk about Eli's retirement at some point. Both Mannings. Brady is on is finishing up his career shortly. Drew Brees is going to be finishing up his career shortly. You notice I'm not saying Ryan Fitzpatrick. Um, but there's just we have been spoiled. Aaron Rodgers is getting older. He's going to be retiring sometime in probably the next 3 or 4 years, I would imagine.
Philip Rivers, who know he's going to do.
I mean, there's just we are seeing the best quarterbacking I think in the NFL the
Since
last
the
10
'84
years
class.
since we were treated to Marino and Montana and Elway and
Warren
that level of
Moon.
guys. Warren Moon. But I think that we're hitting another level now. Doesn't mean that the guys out there right now are crap. Patrick Mahomes gives you a lot of hope, but these running quarterbacks don't last as long in the NFL.
No.
They tend to retire earlier.
Your knees aren't supposed to bend certain ways when people land on you.
It's a different game than it was 20 or 30 years ago, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be done. But I definitely feel like we're hitting the end of an era with our quarterback play. And so those are all conversations we are going to have during the offseason. I'm also very interested in our conversation that we had last week. We teased last week. One thing every team needs to change.
Yes.
And I would like to have that conversation about, let's talk about each team. Maybe we do a division every podcast. We did that last year. We devoted one episode to every division as a preview. Maybe we sit there and we talk about from a fantasy perspective, what do the teams in the NFC East need to do? And we just do that. So we will keep you very busy during the offseason, we assure you. And I assure you the beer will be back next week.
Yes, it will be.
I will be back into my normal ways.
And Britt may be here in person.
I keep trying to. This weirdo cold just refuses to go away, and I'm not gonna stand there. If you don't know Craig, he will spray you in your face with Lysol if he thinks you brought the plague into his house. So I don't really feel like doing that.
I have limited sick time.
Yeah, yes. Working in retail, they don't really care when you call up and you say you have a disease. They don't care. They're like, come in here and sell phones. So. All right, well, we'll be back next week. In the meantime, leave us a review wherever you listen to us. Stitcher, Player FM, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to us. Please leave us a review. We love to hear from you. And please leave us some comments in the review. Don't just write you and give us a 1-star. If you don't like what you're hearing, tell us why. We're happy to take back some constructive criticism and try to improve. But we'll be back next week at the end of Super Bowl 54. I'll be very happy. Or very quiet, but
either way, Britt will have beer.
Either way, we're either gonna have a wedding or a hanging. But either way, we're gonna have a good time, eh? What movie? Quick, what movie?
Men in Tights.
That's right, Robin Hood Men in Tights. So, all right, but either way, we'll be back next week to wrap up the season that was the 100th season at the NFL and to start looking ahead to next year. Until then, my name is Britt.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Football Fig Nuts Podcast. Go Chiefs!